running, I'm losing my grip. Storage costs rising, they'll never let me skip. Refunds I'm eating, returns pile up too. Oh, Amazon, what else will you do? I look at my dashboard, my profits erased. My margins are gone, it's a slap in the face. Prime Day's a promise, but it's such a race. How much will I make if I'm replaced? It's a cruel, cruel number. Fees keep climbing, profits torn asunder. Oh, it's cruel, the sellers wonder how to survive when the margins go under. It's a cruel, cruel number. Every month it's something new to plunder. Oh, it's cruel, it's no wonder we're stuck in this game, the algorithm's thunder.
Yo, Amazon's back, and they got a new scheme. Reimbursement slashed, it's every seller's dream. They're digging deep, taking more from the pot. Let's break it all down, expose what they got. March 25, it's a policy drop. They say manufacturing costs, but we know it's a flop. Give us your cogs, they're demanding the price. But if you don't, they'll estimate nice. Nice for them, not for you. Watch a payout shrink. That comprehensive evil is a corporate wing. Lost in the warehouse, damaged on the floor. Now they pay you pennies, not a cent more. Fees on the rise, profits on the run. They don't lift a finger, but they pocket the fun. We're fair! They shout while they cut our shares. Amazon math, man, it's full of errors. Fees, taking our dough. They're stacking the deck, and it's sellers who owe. Reimbursement? Nah, they're taking us down, but we're still here, we don't mess around. Fees, straight to the top. Amazon's game, it'll never stop. Margins tight, but we keep the grind. Sellers unite, we're one of a kind.
I try to sell my product on Amazon, thought it'd be a breeze. But little did I know I'd be stuck with seller support disease. They never seem to solve my problems, just give me the runaround. I'm tired of waiting on hold. My patience is wearing thin, I'll never be found. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck. Can't get no satisfaction. I'm out of luck, out of luck, out of luck. You don't care about my business, just trying to make a buck. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck.
This one's for the sellers on the grind, getting left on red, wasting all their time. I hit up support, got an auto reply. Thanks for your patience, man, I wanna cry. Inventory lost, my margins are toast. The reps playing tag like the Casper the Ghost. They pass me around, it's a never-ending game. Nobody takes action, everybody shifts blame. My ASIN's down, I'm out of the race. They say they'll escalate, yo, what a disgrace. Amazon seller support, you're breaking my heart. No answers, no fixes, just tearing me apart. Hours in the queue, stuck in the dark. Amazon seller support, you're missing the mark.
Amazon game plan, that is the key. Seller central dashboard, that's where I be. Analyze the funnel, see what we lack, then we optimize. Sellers know it's a fact. I get it poppin', you know that it's lit. Climbing the rankings, ain't no room to quit. I check the data, they notice the stats. I keep the method, that's how you adapt. Metrics are showing, you know it's our cap. Amazon sellers, it's time to react. I'm about that action, I do this with passion. I got them like, whoa, what is this? Huh, whoa.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's just buying stuff based on reviews and badges or whatever. They don't even know who we are. These customers don't even know the name of my brand. But they keep clicking add to cart like it's part of the plan. They see that Amazon badge and think it's all grand. But yo, they don't even know the name of my brand.
Click, scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell a day. Now listen up, I'm Steven Pope, Amazon guru, I'll help you cope. Step 1, get that that trademark stamped. Without brand registry, your Amazon cramped. Head to Seller Central, log in quick. Manage stores tab, yeah, that's the trick. Upload your logo, flex that style. You're about to make Jeff Bezos smile. Where pick a template, marquee or grid. Drop your tiles like a branding whiz. Hero image, big and bold. This store's gonna glitter like digital gold. Scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell today. Yo. In the trenches of the Amazon game, trying to survive while it's driving me insane. Nobody warns you, they just claim it's passive income. Nah, it's pain. I'm sitting at a birthday, laughing, chilling, next to a newbie Amazon seller spilling. She's like, Prime so smooth, it's a killer. Then tried to sell, now she's stuck in a thriller. Finding products, yeah, that's the first grind. Scrolling Alibaba, losing my mind. Sample suck, manufacturers decline. I'm like, dang, how's anyone doing this fine? Ship it in, pay for the bubble wrap, but they ship glass bottles in padded crap. Now I got hot sauce leaks, refund stack, customers pissed. Man, I'm under attack. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Trademark wars, brand registries a scam. They banned my brand, now I'm in a jam. Listings yanked, products ranked and tanked. Lost dogs in the catalog, my account shanked. Now let's talk ads, it's a rabbit hole. 1,000 hours deep, man, it's taking my soul. Weekly negations, bulk sheets for control. Excel's my new weapon, but it's taking its toll. SEO's no joke, keywords in the game. Alt text, A+ content, playing insane. Lifestyle shots, avatars for fame, but the CTR's low, all products look the same. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, from SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat.
Let's go to Mac School. To Mac School. Class is now in session with Professor Pope.
They got the SOP, cause Professor Pope wrote the recipe. Helping Amazon sellers grow sales exponentially. Amazon's a jungle, but we map the strategy. Brand strategist playbook, it's a guide to victory. Troubleshooting catalog, you know we got the answer key. Boosting all your rankings, turning sales into a legacy. SOB so deep, you think we studied at Mac School. Every step we follow leads to growth, yeah, it's a golden rule. Stuck on keywords, we'll find the ones that work the best. Using Helium-10, strike distance keywords pass the test. Incremental indexing ensures the listing set to rise. From the back end to the bullets, optimization hits the skies. Brand store creation, yeah, we make it shine and flow. A+ content design makes conversions overflow. Need your images on point, best practices in the plan. Alt text and photo rules ensure your visuals command. SEO meets PPC, it's balanced, every step aligned. We'll construct the MKLs that drive rankings over time. Budget caps and bid adjustments, no more wasted spend. Segmentation builds campaigns that sellers can defend. Got a hijacker, no problem, we'll file to take them down. Review requests in action, 5-star ratings come around. Flat file updates, market share reports, it's all in reach. Professor Pope wrote the SOP so sellers learn and teach.
Meanwhile, my Amazon guys on the case, fixing up my problems at lightning pace. Ticket escalations, Mag's the boss. Even Amazon says we'll take the loss. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. They're supposed to be the pros, but they can't decode policies and tools from their own damn road. I'm paying fees, yet they bring me stress. But Mag turns my chaos into pure success. Seller support reps, they throwing shade, but then admit, yo, Mag will get you paid. Third-party agency taking the throne while Amazon fumbles in their own damn zone. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. So here's the truth, let's keep it real. Mag's the team with the pro-level skill. Amazon sellers, you know the vibe when support says call Mag. They'll give you peace of mind. Amazon seller support, you can suck my image stack. Sucking is all you're good at anyway. Bezos, hit me up if you want to sell seller support. I'm buying. There's a chase. Peace.
Hello and welcome to the My Amazon Guy Friday live Q&A. My name is Noah Wickham. I'm our sales director here at My Amazon Guy. So if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to throw them in the comments right now. I'm going to go through everything today as much as possible. We also have some new Amazon news to cover today as well. So looking forward to diving into that. We'll be on for about an hour 15, probably somewhere in that ballpark today, unless we keep getting more and more questions, in which case we'll stay here until everything is answered for everyone. So let's hop in without further ado. I spent most of this week deathly ill. So trying to get back into it, trying to gear myself up today to answer some things. And it would not be a Friday live Q&A if we did not have Roichi coming in hot with some questions. So let's hop into it. Where can I find a complete breakdown of total Amazon fees and PPC promotional fees per weekly pay period? I've looked at transaction view, but I don't see PPC spend. I've looked at all statements. So, but I only see expenses and others. I just want to see all my sales, all my Amazon expenses, fees, refunds, reserves, and PPC spend all in one place. Where can I find that? Is there such a place? The answer is no. There is not one single place in which you are going to see literally everything on your Amazon account all at the same time from a fee structure perspective. You technically can go to your payment section, and yes, you can do transaction view, but it's not going to always break everything up into the very specified transactions, especially when it comes to PPC spend. The best way to go about this is you're going to actually need to get a few reports. Yes, you're going to want to get your transaction review report, but on top of that, you're also going to want to go into your PPC console and get your PPC spend report. So that's going to be two separate sections to actually get that. Unfortunately, Amazon doesn't make it super easy to know that and where it is. There is a report as well that you can pull from your account settings for charges, specifically to know how much you've been charged. But the reason for this is also varied because of the fact that Amazon technically separates each of their different sections. So Seller Central is different than the advertising console on Amazon, which is different than Vendor Central, which is different than, Business Central, right? So Amazon has all these little hubs of different sites you go to. And so that's why you can't technically see all of it in one nice little neat space. I'm sure technically you can if you do things such as pull API data, but from a reporting standpoint, Amazon doesn't have a really clean cut functional area for this. I'm trying to gather data for taxes, but 1099 isn't including December, October, or August payouts 24, which I don't know why. So I just want to do my due diligence in gathering my own data. In all statements, what does expenses include and what does others refer to? I'm not an accountant, Roichi. I'll say that first and foremost. So unfortunately, I can't get you probably the best answer here, unfortunately. That being said, I can log into an account. We can kind of talk about it. So if you're looking specifically at the 1099, you're going to have to talk with Amazon on that one. There's an entire chance that potentially you have your year end or your fiscal year end Q3, which would technically mean that's going to also hold 2023 data as well. So that's one thing I would look out for. Again, I'm not an accountant. I always had someone do my taxes for me when I was on Amazon. So there is that aspect. As far as going, and let's go to payments here real quick, and we can kind of just talk about it. So when you are, let me see if I can, there's not going to be a way for me to hide this account. So I don't want to dox this client, but we can talk about expenses. So expenses, you can look at if you go to all statements and just look at your expenses, expenses are all inclusive, right? So, I can. Perfect. Okay. Let me share this real quick. Let me share my screen for you. There we go. Okay. So, this is how you get to expenses. So go to your statements. You can easily just do this right from the top right. And you can essentially see refunded sales, promo fees, cost of advertising. So that will be included in the expenses. This is, again, probably the easiest place to get the information. Amazon fees, and then reversed reimbursements. So this is how you can kind of break that down, Roichi. from the perspective of understanding where exactly the cost is going to be on all of this. It's not going to be great to try and do this for, I guess, every payment period. And I can actually, let me pull this up as well, just so you can see this. Still not a way in which I can show this. So I can't show this, unfortunately. But for instance, Richie, in regard to your previous question, if you click like that cost of advertising, it'll take you directly to the billing section under advertising, which will, again, show you that. So unfortunately, there's not a way to break it all down. You can do like advertising invoice history. That will give you a breakdown of everything. But again, that's going to be in the advertising section, not specifically in your statement section. So hopefully that kind of includes everything you're looking for. Good questions. It is that time of the year. Tax time. Tax time, tax time. Hi, Noah. I hope you are well. I'm doing better than I was. Body's still a little achy. Does the different products you add to your overall brand in different categories like spray, chute cleaner, deodorizer, does it increase the overall business valuation? So what increases your business valuation? I would say quite a few things, right? The number one thing always with any business valuation is usually going to be dollars in versus dollars out, right? So what is it that you are actually making from a net profit on a monthly and annual basis on the business? That's going to be paramount number one. Now, secondarily is going to be length of time of the business. Can having multiple categories increase your overall business valuation? Potentially, right? It can, from the aspect of it makes your business a little bit more diversified, less prone to risk, and less niche in how it is currently operating. So there are certain things in certain areas that definitely could help with the business valuation there. Blizzard, it really will come down to, and again, the best thing you could possibly do, you can usually get free business valuations. The place that I will always recommend is Quiet Light. They are a partner here from My Amazon Guy. If anyone is looking to sell their Amazon store business, feel free to reach out to us, and we are happy to make an introduction over there for you. And secondarily, how do you get fee discounts again? Since January, Amazon gave me a referral fee discount, and once spring hit 25th March, they removed the discount. So now I have to pay more fees. It depends. So what kind of fee discount was it? So there's tons of different ones that you can get. So for instance, if you are a new seller, you get a referral fee discount for your first year. If you are doing a brand referral bonus, so bringing people in from outside Amazon, that gets you a discount as well on your referral fees. If you are going through and let's say, what's another one? Oh, another one would be, for instance, if you have like a low tier priced item. So those ones get referral fee discounts as well. So all of those are different areas and reasons you could get it. So it would come down to what was the initial reason that they gave you for the referral fee. Ricardo, there is a way to influence Rufus because gives to the client a wrong information. No. So many people are kind of head stuck on Rufus right now. I'm iffy on it. I know there are a lot of people who are investing a lot of time into Rufus. They think the Rufus is the next big thing, and they think that it's going to be paramount on Amazon. I'm still up in the air on it. Personally speaking, I mean, I think something like Perplexity honestly does a better job than Rufus does at this moment when it comes to listings and understanding different aspects. But I guess it would depend on what is the information that's giving to the client that's wrong. Could be that is it sizing, because if that's the case, it could be that you have a back character, you're indexing wrong. I mean, there's a variety of reasons, right? So it comes down to what is it saying to the client that is wrong. Hello, which is the PPC strategy for cheaper variants of main item? So are you asking like what the PPC strategy would be if you have like, variations of an item and they're cheaper than like the hero product, for instance? There isn't like a PPC strategy for it, right? So pricing doesn't really indicate PPC all that much, at least in my opinion. The big thing that will come down to there is you're still going to have probably differentiated campaigns per each one of the ASINs, if not, just the lower price child ASINs, right? So focus on those, the differentiation in your campaigns, first and foremost. But secondarily, you're essentially just trying to increase conversion on those by having a lower price, right? So price is number one converting factor on Amazon, but there's not like a specific campaign that you're like, oh yeah, I got to use this campaign because these are theoretically cheaper, right? Thomas, new FBA product, okay? Best ad campaign structure to maximize sales velocity and keyword rank. Competitive market with higher cost per clicks, $5 to $10 on, wow, that's okay, cheap. On top terms, how to use ad learning to improve listing and organic rank. Ooh, that's actually kind of an interesting one. So campaign structure, maximize sales velocity and keyword rank, no more than 5 keywords per campaign. So make sure that you keep your campaigns within a 5 keyword level. That's going to be kind of paramount in that idea at the end of the day of trying to make sure that you're not what's the best way to put it? I want to say over indexing, stretching yourself thin probably is the best way to put it on a single campaign. So definitely start there. Only 5 keywords per campaign maximum. If there are very specific high search volume keywords you are trying to target, such as your very competitive ones with the $5, $10 top terms, put those in their own campaign by themselves. That's going to help you, one, be able to really control your budget level for those specific keywords. So you're not going to go over the top with it. And then 2, really control the placement aspect of it as well. So the best thing that can help you in this kind of sense, if you're trying to improve your listing organic rank and things like that, sales velocity is like paramount to that, right? So PPC sales velocity does help. It doesn't help as much as organic sales velocity, but PPC sales velocity still helps. And then secondarily, that would be your click-through rate and conversion rate. So if you can be advertising towards one of those top terms, do a top of search advertisement, and people are very frequently clicking on your product, that helps you rank higher and index more for your actual term. Last year, ROAS above 3 in March. This year, also 2.2. How can I improve? Well, first and foremost, stop using ROAS as a metric. I personally believe ROAS is a trash metric to go by. Especially when we have ACoS readily available. I understand that ROAS and ACoS are essentially 2 sides of the same coin. My argument to that all the time is going to be that ROAS just gives you essentially a multiple of where you're at, but it doesn't actually tell you how you're doing from an advertising perspective, especially because it includes multiple varieties of product, right? So it can help from, I suppose, a really high level business perspective. But if your goal is specifically to actually grow, ROAS, I think, is a really bad metric. So start there. Secondarily, my question to you would be, are organic sales growing or not? If organic sales are not growing and your ROAS in /ACoS is going down, then you have an issue where you are just not capturing market share. Now, there's a couple of different things. This sounds like a conversion issue more than it does a actual targeting issue. So if it's a conversion issue that you're actually facing, you need to take a look at your listing detail page first and foremost. So that's where you need to start, look and see why it is conversion is going down. Have you gotten new competitors in the market? Are those competitors cheaper than you by a substantial amount? That can hurt you a lot. Are you currently targeting in a broad sense any keywords that are not specifically relevant to your product that are hurting your overall advertising and not actually helping you from a conversion aspect? So that's really realistically the place I would start, Yash. ROAS, ACoS, whatever you want to measure. If it's going down, conversion is the issue, right? That's by and large the issue if it's going down, because it sounds like you're probably still getting the clicks. So where is the conversion? But start there first and foremost. Is there a report I can export from analytics that has the fees broken down per ASIN? Oof. Not that I'm fully aware of. I'm sure there probably is something. I know you can do under fulfillment reports. I think you can do an orders report if I'm not mistaken, or a sales or orders report that will give you that breakdown. Try and do the all orders report first and foremost. I think that one will give you a breakdown, and then I think there is a fees report. The fees report I think might be under payments. So if you do transaction review and you do essentially all standard orders, and then you want to look for service fees, so you can do that. Roichi, go to your payments, go to transaction review, and then go to standard orders. Transaction type should be service fees. So that should, I believe, give you the correct one, but let me know if that's not what you're needing. Fortunately, it won't go back for 2024. I would reach out to seller support directly on that, Roichi. Okay. Hi, Noah. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How do I get a #1 release badge? Is it for the last of the product node? What are the requirements for Amazon Choice Badge? So there aren't like specified, here is what you need to do for Amazon Choice Badge, for #1 badge, any of those. What I will tell you is that the #1 thing to focus on is review count within the first 30 days, sales velocity in the first 30 days. Those two things are kind of paramount and the biggest areas for you to essentially focus on when it comes to trying to get these badge. So Amazon Choice Badge is just sales velocity alongside high review count. So if you have a average review of over 4.5, plus you are getting very good sales, you can get the Amazon Choice Badge. Same thing when it comes to #1 release badge. I believe there's a time frame on that one. I think it's 90 days. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me, I suppose. But that also comes in the same play of high review count, as well as, or I guess high review star rating, whatever, as well as the sales velocity alongside it. Can we do advertising in Rufus? If yes, how? Yeah, you can do sponsored display, I believe, currently in Rufus. So it's not something that you can set up where it goes directly to Rufus. It's just that if you set up sponsored display for category targeting, you can show up with inside Rufus. Now, again, I will be full transparent. Is that going to help you? Who knows? I'm still not bought in on Rufus. I know a lot of people are. I'm just not. I don't think Rufus is that great. I did a poll a while back where I polled like 150 people, and out of the 150 people, it was something like only 23% of people had even heard of or used Rufus before. So I think it's one of those things that people are focusing on it within the Amazon industry really heavily, because we know about it. But any actual customer, most people that I talk to and ask about, they have no idea about it. They don't use it. They don't care about it, to be honest. What do you think of offering ebooks with the product? Do I promote it on the listing? I also want to use it as a lead magnet. Yeah, I think the best way to go about promoting an ebook, you can put it on the listing. Definitely, it can help, conversion factor, right? Secondarily is the way that you can kind of use it would be to get a product insert and have a QR code. That's going to be the best way. And that also allows you to capture their email so that they can, you have their email for email marketing, and they get the book that way and you can email it to them. So that's probably the best way to go about it realistically, Viper. I mean, I think it's a good idea at the end of the day. It depends also on what the product is. Do people want an ebook about the product? I don't know, but not a bad idea. Okay. If you have questions, guys, throw them in the chat, in the comments. I'm getting through them, and it's looking like we do not have that many. So throw them in there now. Let's see here. There we go. Can you please let me know why Amazon is not approving new applications for selling health supplement products in USA? Despite all necessary documents, etc., own brand approval is in place. No, I can't because I'm not Amazon, unfortunately. That being said, I would be curious on this because it's not the first time that Amazon restricts categories. At the end of the day, supplements is a very, very though I had sneeze. I feel like I still have to, but we'll see. Supplements is a very saturated category on Amazon. The sneeze is not going away. So that's kind of issue number one at the end of the day, is that it's a very, very saturated category. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are limiting the number of sellers that can join the category. They did that with, I'm trying to think what it was. I think it was Amazon Australia. You can't sell specific like repair parts and stuff because it was just such a like filters. You couldn't sell filters on Amazon Australia. So it's not uncommon for Amazon to restrict specific categories for whatever reason, you know, whether it be too many new sellers are trying to get into a category, too many people have, you know, issues with it. So a lot of times when it is high compliance categories, Amazon wants you to not be a brand new seller before you start selling within that category. So wouldn't be surprising if that's the case here. Can I tell you the exact reason? No, not unless they are giving you some reason or I guess, what are they saying to her? Are they saying, hey, no, you can't sell this product? Or are they saying, you know, you don't meet certain necessary criteria for selling the product? Because those are very different at the end of the day. Dunsler. Do the increase in overall taxes in the US directly impacts Amazon's sales? Since January 2025, the sales are much slower. Is there a way to see what is the reason behind the drop in sales overall? Yeah, I mean, there's tons of different stuff you can look at, right? So let's dig in. Could it be taxes? Sure. Could it be the overall economy in the market? Maybe. Who knows, right? But also, it's Q1. It's always slow. You know, Q1 is always going to be slow on Amazon. So Amazon, if you look at literally any chart, sales on Amazon pretty much go like this. Imagine this is, you know, January or whatever, right? Sales go like boop, 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 and immediately spike in Q4, back down. And that's how Amazon sales always are. You also get a random, like, you know, spike here and then spike here in, I guess, March and then in July for the Prime days. But yeah, that's always what it's like. Now, that being said, that doesn't leave you without the ability to kind of see why sales might be slower in some capacities. So something I would do, first and foremost, would be I would go to your market basket analysis, check out to see what people are buying alongside your product. Is it the same as it was a couple of quarters ago? Is it not the same? That'll help you quite a bit as far as understanding the overall market. You could also start looking at, what is it? That's under brand analytics, by the way, if you're not aware. Trying to think what the other area is. There's another area you can go to and you can actually see your overall category data. I'll figure it out. Either way, so that, I mean, that's, you know, what I would most likely do at the end of the day. You can also look at your customer journey nowadays, see if that's up, see if it's down. I mean, even for this brand that I'm looking at, that's, you know, multi-million-dollar brand, Q1 is always a slow time for them, right? So it's the type of thing that Q1, your sales are going to go down, and regardless, is the economy in general in the US kind of going down? Yeah, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just normal Q1 behavior. Organic sales is also down. Yeah, that's conversion problem, Yash. 100% you have a conversion problem. So you need to identify where and why, right? So where is the conversion issue happening, or where is the problem happening? So are you down on clicks? Are you down on impressions? Are you down on conversions, right? Those are the three areas to look at. Now, once you figure that aspect out, you can dig into it. Okay, if you're down on overall clicks and conversions, that's a problem. But it starts at the top with click-through rate. So why? Are you not appearing relevancy and high enough on certain keywords that you should? Are people just not clicking right now? Okay, that changes things. Is it conversion? Are you priced competitively? Are you going, against competitors? Are people advertising against you? All of these things change. So that's kind of the primary place to start, I would say. All right. Electrolyte powder inside some water. Yum. Trying to regain all of my electrolytes from where are we at? There we are. All right. My brand sells towels in a black brand designed resealable bag that has a small hole at the bottom for air. Okay. Does the suffocation warning policy still apply, or is this only for clear poly bags? Would assume it's only for clear poly bags. That being said, I don't actually know the answer to this question. I can figure out the answer to the question if you'd like. If you want, email us over at podcastmyamazonguy.com. Be happy to figure out the answer to this question. But I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I would assume not. Usually the suffocation policy is for small items as well as poly bags, things like that. If you have a small hole at the bottom and can get air, technically that should be fine. But that still doesn't necessarily make it so that a kid can't suffocate on it. So that's the big issue at the end of the day. So I don't know, but I will figure it out for you if you would like. Yash. Can you please elaborate how keyword indexing helps us to boost campaign performance? If you can share screen, that would be great. Would elaborate on how keyword indexing helps boost campaign performance. Yeah, so I think the best way to explain this isn't even a screen share. I mean, actually, let me pull up Helium real quick. Let me pull up Helium. So the best tool to explain this is probably Cerebro. I'll just pull up on Amazon's random things here. So if we are looking at Cerebro, right? So we're looking at Cerebro. This is just one of Cerebro's products. We have keywords, 9,167 organic keywords, 783 paid keywords, but our total keywords are 9,650. That means that we have some keywords that are being paid for, right? Advertised against, that are not a part of our organic. So that means it's roughly about 500 keyword difference, right? Between the idea about 500 of our paid keywords are not ranking organically, but we are advertising against them. That is what I mean in the sense of we are paying for them so that we can get sales velocity on them, so that we can have them on the listing and people search for it and our rank of the product goes up. So there is a better chance that people will buy the product organically from that. I don't know if that was the best explanation I could possibly give you, but I hope it makes sense. The idea essentially at the end of the day is this. You have a sponsored rank, you have an organic rank for every single one of your keywords. PPC sales still impact organic ranking, just at a lesser capacity than organic sales affect organic ranking. Hopefully that makes sense. CM, when you manage a brand, what reports do you focus on to share with the brand to provide data to them? I do have all of the MAG SOPs. So we use a partner company called Merchant Spring for our reporting. Merchant Spring puts together a report, a weekly report that we send out to clients every single Monday. The most important things, in my opinion, to look at, whether you are a brand, an agency, anything like that, are these. You should always be looking at your week-over-week sales, year-to-date sales, year-over-year sales. Those three metrics will give you everything you need to understand about your current sales volume. Secondarily to that, you should be looking at specifically your advertising sales for your week-over-week, your month to date, and then also your year to date. Well, not probably year to date, year over year is what I meant for advertising sales. Those three are the ad side of things. Now, from a specific key metric, I personally like to see the ACOS week over week and month to date. I like to see the tacos week over week and month to date. And then I also like to see, and this is one that I think a lot of people don't look at, but I personally like to see it. I like to see the conversion rate week over week and month to date. Those are kind of the main metrics you're always going to need to be looking at. There's some other ones in there that we throw in there, such as products that are moving up or down as far as your overall ranking goes. That's going to be a huge impactor, right, at the end of the day. As far as what you need to look at, really also comes down to what your business goals are, right? So we customize a lot of our reporting for what clients want to see. It really depends, right? So what is your primary focus, primary target at the end of the day for any form of reporting? Ricardo. I have a skincare company, and Rufus tells customers that an ingredient that is not present in the formula when in reality it is. I have never stated in the back end that it is not present. Let's see. It's actually in the 4 or 5 questions below when you open the product page. I wouldn't want to receive negative reviews because of this. I would report that to seller support first and foremost if you see that. Secondarily, again, this is where AI kind of sucks. It's a language learning model, right? So the thing you need to understand is that there is potential that it's pulling data from your competitors who do have that in the formula, right? Is there a chance that maybe you're indexed on that specific keyword? Maybe, especially if your competitors are on it and it's a very common keyword, right? There's an entire chance for it. So that's where I would start. Is there a way for you to completely change Rufus saying that? Unfortunately, no. Not that I'm aware of at the very least. Again, this is where I personally don't like the idea of AI all the time because it's not always correct. We are still in the infancy, if you think about it, of AI. And I'm sure if you ask Alexa, it would, oh, dude, my Alexa is about to go off. I probably set it off for quite a few other people. It would probably give you similar results, right? Remverse. Oh, hey guys. Will you walk me through how to find my market basket analysis? Yeah. I don't have an account I can share right now. Well, maybe I can do this. All right, here we go. So come over to your brand analytics. You can actually just click this button right here, go to brands, and then go to brand analytics here. And then come on down and go to your customer behavior analytics, and then market basket analysis is right here. So super simple, super easy. It shows you essentially where people are purchasing similar products alongside your product. Let's see. Alicia, hi Noah. I hope you are recovering well. I'm doing all right. I have a little stuffiness going on now, but hopefully you guys can't hear that. My voice sounded awful earlier this week, so I am very glad that I am not like that anymore. How does Amazon detect review manipulation, and what are the best practices to stay compliant? Detection of it, couldn't tell you. A lot of times I think that probably comes down to IP more than anything. I'm not entirely positive, right, as to how Amazon is handling it. Being said, people report it very frequently, so that's a big thing to keep in mind if it's very obvious. But it also seems like in this day and age, people can kind of get away with it for quite a long time if they're sneaky about it. Am I ever going to encourage someone to practice review manipulation? Never. Don't do that. How to stay compliant? Don't have friends and family buy your product and review it, give it 10 stars. Don't post your product in like seller groups or review groups. Don't use any of those softwares that generate thousands of reviews. Keep a very good verified purchase review rate. I mean, the big thing is just don't buy reviews. That's how you stay in compliance with the review manipulation. Now, some people do the friends and family thing. What I will tell you is if you are going to do the friends and family thing, don't send them a direct link to your product. Instead, have them search for your product. One, it's way better for your SEO. If someone can find your product, click on it and then buy it. Two, it's going to be a lot easier for Amazon track if you are sending out direct links, especially if they're like not brand referral links either. So keep that in mind. Stay the course, and you shouldn't have any issues. Mohammed, what are the best product categories for a new private label brand on Amazon with a small budget? Looking for low competition, high demand, and good profit margins. Also, any tips on avoiding Chinese, I assume, sellers? So I don't have great information on this. I'm not the best at product research. I'll be honest. I can resale products. Yeah, I can do resale products fairly easily. I can pretty much tell you within 2 seconds products that are good for resale and aren't good for resale, and where to find those. But when it comes to private label, it's a tricky process, especially in this day and age with everything being much more saturated than it used to be, right? So it's hard, is the best way to put it. Now, that being said, as far as where to find categories, a couple of different sources I'm going to point you towards. The first one would be in let me see if I can find this. I think it was Jungle Scout. Yes. Okay. So this is the first thing that I will point you towards. If you go to Google and just type in Jungle Scout State of the Amazon Seller 2024, you can download this report for free. This report will give you a ton of information about 2024 sales strategies, the year in as a recap, so to speak. It will tell you about category data, what happened in certain categories, which categories are going up, which ones are going down, number of sellers in categories. This is like the best report you can possibly look at for the question that you are asking. Jungle Scout is still, to this day, in my opinion, a much better tool than anything else when it comes to finding products. Especially, it is just leagues above any other software as far as product research goes. So they're probably the best people to look at the end of the day. What is the minimum budget to start private label? Minimum budget, you could say $5,000, but I'll say this. First and foremost, it matters depending on how expensive is the product that you are looking to manufacture. That's first and foremost. If you have a product that costs you 50 cents a unit, you can start with a pretty low budget, $5K. If you have a product that costs $50 per unit, well, that's going to need a higher budget, $15K, right? So these are the type of things you need to figure out essentially beforehand. But usually I would say like a good benchmark is $7.5 to $10K is kind of the real minimum threshold in this day and age. It used to be something as low as you could realistically start with like $2K. You could throw a product up, get a couple hundred units shipped over, and have a grand or two in advertising and be off to the races. But we're in a different market in this day and age. You need to focus more on advertising, well-optimized listing, good product placement, so on and so forth. So 7.5, 10K, somewhere in that ballpark. Thank you, Noah. Nice to see you as well. Hi, Noah. Okay. About keyword ranking. Okay. For example, I want to rank organically on women's golf bag. Is it essential to target that keyword on exact match, or I can also rank that just letting auto? I don't see what else. I assume you're going to say auto campaigns do its thing. You got to target it exactly. I don't just do auto campaigns. So have that keyword women's golf bag in your listing, preferably your title, since it sounds like that's going to be a primary high relevancy keyword for you. Secondarily, yes, target it exactly. If that is the keyword you are going after and you are trying to rank on it, you want to rank on that keyword, right? So doing auto campaign is not going to help you on that. It technically can, but it's also just going to add a bunch of other fluff in there as well, right? So if your goal is to rank organically on a women's golf bag, you have to have that exactly. Now, the secondary aspect of that is you can also go into things like golf bag and do phrase match and things like that, which extend what you're going to be doing overall as a whole. All right. I am getting stuffed up, so give me a sec. All right. Journeyman, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. When you see products with 10K plus reviews, do you think they are all legit? I also see via Keepa rapid increases in review count that look suspicious. It depends on the product. Honestly, it just does. There's some products where I'm like, there's no way, right? There are ones where I see it, it's like they launched a year and a half ago and they have 10,000, 15,000 reviews. And I'm just like, there's no way, right? In those cases, one of two things can happen. A lot of times, it's not actually review manipulation in the way that you would initially suspect is review manipulation. Instead of it being, something where you would expect it to be review manipulation, it's instead someone taking a product that they have other reviews on that they're not going to sell anymore, and they merge it into the listing, essentially absorbing all of the reviews and all the ranking of that product. So they have, let's say, I don't know, 15 different types of essential oils, right? Those essential oils, they are discontinuing 5 of them. So what they'll do is they'll take those 5 and they will merge all of them into their top 3, 4, 5 different products. So all of those products, their review count goes up overall, but it looks like, oh, they just got a huge influx of reviews super quickly. Not really. It's more like they just merged reviews with a other product at some point in time. So that's usually what I see from that. Now, that being said, if it's like a very steady increase over time, or a rapid increase, as you kind of say, over time, of, a couple thousand, depends. Is that around a Prime Day period? Because that can sometimes happen where, for instance, Prime Day, someone, 10x's, 15x's their sales over the course of a single week. And then from that, they're going to typically see a giant influx of reviews as well. So assume review ratio is always going to be somewhere around 2 to 3% at all times. So 2-3% of sales are going to leave a review. It's really that low in most scenarios, unless people really have a really, really good review process. Most don't. So 2 or 3% is kind of average at the end of the day. So if you see a product and it's doing, let's say, I don't know, 15,000 units a month or something like that, or 15,000 sales a month, it's not out of the ordinary for that to get even upwards of, let's say 250 reviews or something in a single month. That would be on the higher end, but even still. Pure nature. Hi, Noah. Is it better to go for all the high-priced keywords and burn money? Okay. Usually there's a or next to that. My ACoS is out of control. How can I target the most relevant keyword and still stay lower than the suggested bids? Okay. 2 different things. Is it better to go for all the high-priced keywords and burn the money? Not necessarily, especially if you're not a brand new brand, right? So if it's a brand new product launch, sometimes, yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of burning money in to get sales at the time of product launch. Some people don't like that. They want to keep profitability at all times. I'm a big first 90 days. I'll be in the red as long as it sets my product up for success. Teach their own, I suppose. Now, for your ACoS being out of control and you targeting the most relevant keywords still stay lower than the suggested bid, you technically can't, right? From the aspect of if you want them to get impressions and you want them to get clicks, the suggested bid is there because the fact that it's a suggestion based off of what everyone else is bidding. You can't beat bids that are higher than your own. So what do? You can technically go for something like a rest of search bid placement. You could go for a product pages bid placement. Both of those are usually going to be a little bit cheaper than something like top of search as far as your bidding goes and your cost per click. So if you're looking to go below the suggested bid, you need to change your placement strategy, because your placement strategy is really what actually will determine what your cost per click is and where your product is showing up as far as advertising goes. And again, usually rest of search and product pages are a little bit cheaper than top of search will be, because top of search is they're right in front of the customer right there. So, Stan, do they really can track the search, find, buy services? What? It seems they can rank much cheaper without wasting for PPC and are hard to detect. Oh, you're talking about reviews. Yeah, so I'm not positive, right? So again, I'm not Amazon. I don't know what their algorithm is. I don't know how they track these things. But I will tell you, you would be kidding yourself if it weren't for the fact of Amazon being able to track an influx of, a couple 10,000 sellers suddenly searching directly for one specific product, clicking on that product, purchasing that product very quickly, and then leaving a review for that product, right? They're not slick. And it's not hard to see it, and it's not hard to report from a review perspective. Do I think they can track it? Absolutely, they can. Amazon has probably more data on how consumers act on the platform and can tell a consumer versus a bot than anyone else on the entire planet, right? Do they give that data to sellers? No, of course they don't, because they kind of hate us. But that being said, they definitely know about the services. They know that the services exist. They know the IP addresses that these services typically come from, because that is a thing as well. Is, even if you're using a VPN or anything like that, they know the MAC address of the PCs that they come from. It's a very common thing, right? Now, are you going to always get caught? No, they're not going to catch every fringe case out there of someone review manipulating or someone buying 500 reviews versus 10,000, right? Especially if it's over the course of time, right? But they will probably catch majority of them. Unfortunately, a lot of them, in some cases where it's black hat review manipulation, like Chinese sellers and stuff, technically aren't even doing it in the way that you're talking about. They're doing it in a way of they're just getting a couple, 10,000 of their buddies or whatever within groups to just go through and actually purchase the product. And that sucks because that's, something that's harder to track. Let's see. If the seller has communicated to buyers and tried to influence them for altering/adding reviews, and Amazon has detected it and has given a very critical violation, any tips to survive it? Yeesh. Not a ton. Review manipulation is one of the single areas on Amazon that it is very hard to fight. There are very few people that I know who have done review manipulation and gotten their account suspended that have successfully gotten those accounts restored. It's just kind of the unfortunate case when it comes to Amazon. There's not much you can do at the end of the day. I mean, you can you can go against it. You can try and say that it was a mistake, blah blah blah. It depends how severe it is, right? So there's a seller I worked with and talked to last year, I think. He got hit with a review manipulation thing. Talked to him, and he's like, no, we never manipulate reviews. We get like 2 months into the process and we're still not getting anywhere with it. And Amazon's about to shut down the entire thing. And the customer finally is just like, well, I mean, we did, have reviews purchased, but that was 6 years ago. It was 6 years ago. But they admitted that they had reviews purchased. At that point, we could not do anything because Amazon wanted us to find every single review that was a manipulated review, send it to them. It was not possible and not feasible to do. And so Amazon wants you to admit fault at all times, right? The review manipulation, once you admit fault, a lot of times it's hard to get past that. So know that Amazon, even if it was 6 years in the past, can probably see it. I apologize, but there's not a lot you can do to survive it. You're going to have to admit fault and hope that Amazon takes a little bit of leeway with you. I use BIL and Seller Central to sell in DE, okay, from my UK FBA inventory to re-enable, build international listings, by the way, is BIL for anyone. To re-enable UK ASINs in my DE BIL listings after previously excluding them, should I delete existing DE listings first or no need to delete? Do they have the same ASINs or don't they? If they have the same ASINs, you can just re-enable. If they don't have the same ASINs, it will create new listings, or it could potentially merge them. I'd be careful with the merge. But if you use the build international listings before and then you just essentially disabled and then you're just re-enabling, there should be no issue. There's Rosina. Back to naturalness. I am FBM seller. Okay, as soon as Amazon offered me Prime eligibility, and I signed up for it, but suddenly realized that it wasn't for me. So I never attached SKU to it. However, my sales plummeted. What? I don't think I understand what your question is. Are you saying that you think signing up for FBA is what, or Prime eligibility is what has caused your sales to plummet? Or I guess what are you asking? Because that's not really a thing. That's not why your sales have plummeted. I can almost promise you, Amazon isn't restricting your product unless potentially you have a hidden suppression. Maybe that's possible, but even then, you would typically be able to find that really easily to see if your product is suppressed. But yeah, that's not a thing. At least not one that I've ever seen. I mean, I've heard hearsay of this idea that Amazon tries to push people into doing FBA, right? When they're FBM sellers, but realistically, I don't think it's a thing. The thing I would be curious on is if you signed up for it and you're not meeting certain account guidelines around it, right? So are you not meeting the specific, like if you're doing SFP, if that's what you're asking. So are you not meeting the actual threshold for sending inventory out? Did potentially your time frame for shipping and handling change in some capacity? There's a million things here that you could be looking at as to why your sales would plummet, outside of Amazon just trying to get one over on you. How do you merge products? Painfully. So product merging is a super difficult thing to do correctly. I don't see many people do it correctly. We do it. If you are genuinely interested in having some products merged, I would reach out to us on our website, simply because it is a very, very, very tricky situation. And most people who try and do it themselves end up losing all of their reviews on one of the products. So if not both products at the same time. So if you are looking at doing some product merging, it's an entire process where essentially you have to get new UPCs. And then with those UPCs, you have to go to seller support, and you have to have seller support do the merge, but you have to define specific criteria for the merge, whole thing. So if you're interested, reach out to us. We can do it. Arun, hi Noah. Is it okay to use super URLs in the review process? Does Amazon track it? Super URLs aren't a thing anymore. So if you're talking about, well, I guess I should ask what you're talking about as far as super URL, because my definition of a super URL is essentially that in super URLs, you used to be able to do this thing where you could try and increase your ranking. But if you're talking about review process, I guess technically, yeah, you can. I don't see why you can't, right? So a super URL, if you're trying to attach it to, let's say, a QR code, that should be fine. But super URLs as a whole thing don't affect anything as far as your product goes anymore. So Amazon removed that years and years and years ago. The ability to utilize super URLs as like this SEO magnet type thing, it's not a thing anymore. So you're much better off just having QR code directly to someone leaving a review for their specific order, or just orders in general, I should say. I am slowly getting stuffed up more and more the more that I talk for some reason. Love it. When our sales drop, so we make an analysis and check the past best performer campaign. They generated good sales, but in the recent time they didn't perform. And when we push, so they didn't give us results. Sales drop, so we make an analysis. Campaign generated good sales, but in recent time they didn't perform. And when we push, so they didn't. I don't know what the question is here. Can you add another comment and elaborate what your question is? Because I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. Hey Noah, as a beginner in PPC management, what key tips or strategies would you recommend for success? Tons of them. So the first thing I will tell anyone who is starting to manage PPC in time is don't be afraid to play around with new ways of targeting. I see a lot of people get into this mindset of like only doing auto campaigns, only doing exact targets, only doing broad campaigns, right? And they get into this mindset where like there's one specific best type of campaign structure because it's the only one that I've ever seen that does good ACoS. Everything else always is super high ACoS, and it's like it's because they don't know how to target correctly. So do not be afraid to try out and test out new forms of targeting. On top of that, I would also very much advise you to go through, watch as many video tutorials as you can on PPC in general. Now, the big thing to note, if you are just getting started with PPC, focus on learning negations. Negations, as far as PPC goes, will be your best friend ever. There is nothing else in PPC that will help someone start to like level up their PPC ability more than understanding when to negate a bad keyword. It is always, always, always in someone's best interest to try and negate bad keywords. So absolutely start there, if nowhere else. Hope that helps. I have a product in Europe, FBA, that I'm planning to launch in the US, but in a different size. Should I create a new variation first, the new size, or launch in the US with the same SKU as Europe? That's kind of dealer's choice at the end of the day. Probably would be easier to launch it in Europe first and then, move it over. And that way you can have essentially international reviews on the same ASIN and just have one home base for it, right? But that's kind of dealer's choice at the end of the day. If you never plan on selling it in Europe, I would just launch it in the US. But if you can sell it in Europe, then I would do the Europe launch and then, do the variation there. I have 12 keywords in the sponsor product for campaign, divide by exact, broad, etc. But your tips is max 5. Okay. In the past, your colleagues said that every keyword in one campaign have the own history. If you put a keyword in another campaign, maybe it doesn't work well. Very true on both fronts. So you can have 12 keywords if you want. My best practice is technically 5 to 10, preferably closer to 5 is how I do it. And that's simply just due to how Amazon campaigns work, right? The more keywords that you are targeting in an Amazon campaign, the less effective your overall budget is going to be for one, and all of the keywords in general, because Amazon is going to focus on keywords that are performing really well in the campaign and not so much on ones that aren't performing well. Now, same thing goes where if you have keywords in a campaign that are not performing well, that does not necessarily mean those are bad keywords. Could be that you can move them into another campaign and now they'll actually start utilizing budget and they'll actually get certain placements on those keywords. So yeah, it comes down to maybe a variety of things, but it's why it's a lot easier to segment out by a smaller amount of keywords than a larger amount. Hi, Noah. Actually, yes, every campaign does have history as well. That's something you can look at in literally every single campaign is the campaign history. Gives you more data, gives the campaign more data, a lot more to work off of. I know I am having trouble with Amazon brand registry. My brand is already registered on USPTO. For what I heard, the problem is that the attorney is banned on Amazon. What can I do? Oof. Oh, that sucks. So you have to have the attorney on the registry or on the USPTO changed. So that is the only thing you can do. If you have already tried to go through brand registry, there's a chance you might not be able to get brand registered even with the attorney change, but you have to get the attorney changed on there so you can talk to any other attorney I believe we might be able to help, so you can reach out to us as well, and we might be able to change the attorney on there. But yeah, Amazon has blacklisted a lot of attorneys. And if you use one that is blacklisted, you cannot get brand registry for your trademark. So absolutely, you're going to have to change the attorney on the trademark. And then, from there, you should be able to get brand registry fairly easily. Looks like we have about one question left here, guys. So we might be wrapping up here soon if no one else has anything else. Maybe I understand wrong. What should I do in this case? Should I change the structure? Okay. So yeah, probably. I mean, if you're looking at changing, so you're saying 12 keywords. Yeah, personally speaking, every single campaign I do, I only do it by one ad group type. So either exact or broad. I don't mix and match ad group types first and foremost. So split those up. That should be your first thing. And then secondarily from there, once you have, those 12 keywords split up, you can go and essentially have different campaigns for each of those keywords as well. Up to, 5, 10. Again, 12 isn't bad. I'm not going to complain at 12, but if you're seeing some keywords aren't performing within that 12, take them out of the campaign and get them in their own campaigns. And that should help you. So it does not look like we have any other questions here. Says thank you, and then I will be contacting your team. So fantastic. All right, so I guess we will wrap it up here, guys. Real quick, to those who are still sticking around, my name is Noah. I am sales director here at My Amazon Guy, and if you don't know, we are essentially a full-service Amazon agency. We do everything on Amazon A to Z. If you are curious, we have an entire services section. We also do a lot of things off Amazon as well. So we actually work on a lot of websites these days to email marketing for people, Google ad services, what meta services, backlinking, so on and so forth. So we do a lot more than just Amazon. The name is a little surprising, I suppose, in that way. Secondarily to that, if you guys want some one-on-one coaching, we also offer one-on-one coaching sessions. Feel free to head over to our website, book a coaching call with us. For anyone who is wanting to potentially learn more about Amazon or anything like that, head on over to mag-school. We have a ton of different courses that you can get over there. And then finally, if you are looking to start in the Amazon space and don't know where, we offer internships. So feel free to reach out to us anytime, and we're more than happy to hire some people on and get them trained up. So hope everyone has a great weekend, great week ahead, and I will see you guys next week. See you, everybody.